All right, let's talk a little bit about Mr. Zachary Kapono Wilson. That's his actual name. I'm going to eat a little bit of crow. I am not going to sit down and have a full meal. I'm not ready to anoint him as the guy, but I'm going to give the kid credit. He deserves credit. He played a really good game, and if you don't want to give him all the credit in the world because it was 245 and two touchdowns, that's average, or let's see him do it again, I will agree with you on all that. However, you, me, none of us know what it's like to be under the amount of pressure that kid was under the last couple of weeks, especially last week when everybody from from Joe Namath, drunken Joe Namath, to the press, to the fans, to the me, like not just like the writers and the beat reporters, but guys on shows, like sports shows, shredding him, tearing him apart. He had I can't even imagine what that kid went through. I get some of you guys coming after me in my Facebook group and on here, and I'm like, "I want to kill you." I mean, what is this guy going through? So the amount of pressure this kid was under, I got to give him all the credit in the world for overcoming it and getting in there and being able to play what was essentially a very good game. Now, first quarter, not so great. Fourth quarter, obviously not great. But let's talk about the second and the third quarter, where he did most of his damage, and the kid looked good. He looked like an actual NFL quarterback for those two quarters. So, what does an actual NFL quarterback mean? He did not look like a star, but I would say that some of the throws he made were star quality throws. I mean, a touchdown pass to Lazard was awesome. It's a bullet. He showed great escapability like he always does. He made good decisions. He made pretty good throws. Some of the throws were slightly off, but they worked. The fumble in the fourth quarter, whatever. I'm going to keep this positive, but Zach Wilson at the very least gave you some hope. And that's for me. That's what he gave me. He gave me a little bit of hope that maybe I was completely wrong about him. Last week I was saying he can't play in the NFL. You have to get him out of there. He proved me wrong. He did not prove me wrong in the long term, but he did prove me wrong in the sense that he can play in the NFL. Whether or not he can do it consistently, I don't know. But you can't sustain two full quarters worth of that if you don't at least have the capability. So the kid has the capability, no question. I no longer will question that. Whether or not the Jets can continue to develop him, come up with a good game plan, or he can be consistent enough is yet to be determined. But I liked what I saw in those two quarters where Zach Wilson made some great throws, got the Jets back from a 17-0 lead. I mean, between the pressure he was under, not in the game, outside, media, fans, whatever, between that being down 17 nothing to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, he got them back and got the score tied, which is huge. We're not going to talk about the fourth quarter because that's the Jets. I'm not even sure that was Zach Wilson. That's just being a Jet. But now the other part is the play calling. Okay, so I'm not sure Zach Wilson had an epiphany. I mean, it seemed to me like a switch flipped for him, but I'm not sure if he had the epiphany or if it was the play calling that just suddenly was playing to his strengths, because the Jets, for a little while there, they had guys in motion, which they never do. They put speed guys in. This kid Gibson, put him in. He was end arounds and misdirects and guys in motion, all these little things the Jets haven't done. A lot of play action. They had Zach roll out a lot. He thrived with that kind of thing. Late third quarter and into the fourth quarter, they went back to almost trying to turn him into a pocket passer, and he didn't have as much success. But I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt and hope that now that Zach has gone out there and executed the game plan, that they can kind of expand it a little bit and broaden it a little bit more for Denver next week. Because that's the game right there. Denver is the game because, first of all, I mean, so many reasons. Number one, you're 1-3. You need this win because you got the Eagles next week. What are the odds you're going to beat the Eagles? I mean, after yesterday, suddenly, yeah, us Jets fans were all excited, but you're probably not beating the Eagles. After that, you got the Giants. You should beat the Giants, right? So the Jets, if they can beat Denver, and they should beat Denver, can get back into a position to at least give us hope for making a run at a playoff spot. Second of all, momentum-wise, you cannot. The Jets, so many times over the years, have gone and done what they did Sunday, right? They played better than you expected. They took a good team down to the wire. Sometimes they win, most of the times they lose. And then you're like, all right, they turned the corner. We're rolling now. And then they go lose, 20 to 6, 19 to 3, 23 to 6. That's one of the big ones. And to a team that they should beat. I don't want to see that next week. I want to see them open up the playbook, get Zach Wilson back into the same rhythm he had, and against a defense like Denver, which has not played well this year, Zach Wilson could really light it up. If the Jets, if the Jets take that 2-quarter performance, turn it into a full game, we could really see something special. Do I think it's going to happen? I'm not going to say anything negative on this. I wanted it to be positive. I wanted it to give kudos to Zach Wilson. I wanted to eat my little bit of an appetizer or crow. I'm not ready to eat the whole meal yet, but we'll leave it there. I'll do another video on what I expect, what should happen, state of the Jets, and the mess that was that fourth quarter the other night. But in the meantime, Zach Wilson, good job, kid. Keep it up. Go Jets.